video we are going to learn the concept of capacitance, how to find out capacitance for a given geometry of the capacitors, and the series and parallel combinations of capacitors. So let us assume there is a conductor M1 here which is positively charged and conductor M2 which is negatively charged, and in between there is a dielectric with permittivity epsilon. And because of this positive charge on M1 and negative charge M2, there is electric field intensity in the region of dielectric oriented from positive charge to negative charge, and there are no any other charges present in the system. That is, the total charge of the system is 0. The charge present on the conductors, it is present on the surface only in terms of a surface charge density, and the electric field is normal to the conductor surface, conductor M1 and conductor M2. Earlier we have seen there cannot be potential difference inside the conductor, or in other words, the electric field intensity inside the conductor is 0. So this we have seen when we studied the boundary conditions, or we can say that the conductor surface is equipotential surface. So based on these assumptions, let us find out the capacitance of this system for the given conductors M1 and M2. Now to find out the potential between these two plates, there must be some work done in moving test charge from negatively charged plate M1 to positively charged plate M2. To know the potential between these two conductors, there must be some work done in moving a charge from negatively charged conductor to positively charged conductor under the influence of electric field E. Let us call it as the potential difference V12. So based on these assumptions, now we can define the capacitance of the two conductor system as the ratio of charge on either conductor to the magnitude of the potential difference between the two conductors. So this is the general definition of capacitance. Now for the given geometry of this capacitance, that means the shape of the physical dimensions of these conductors and for the given material, let us see how to find out the capacitance. So broadly we follow the given steps. First, let us assume a charge Q on the plates. Then based on this, by applying Gauss law, we will find out the electric field E between these plates. Now knowing value of E, then we will calculate the potential difference V, because we know the relationship between E and V. So once V is known, charge is known, already it is assumed. After that, we can calculate the capacitance from the basic definition of capacitors as C equal to Q upon V. So these are the steps to be followed to find out the capacitance of the given capacitor, having knowledge of its geometry and the dielectric material. Now this equation gives us the relationship between Q and D, that is the charge on the capacitor, and the electric flux density D. Now this D we can also write in terms of E as epsilon E dot ds. And the potential between the two conductors can be determined using this equation, V equal to negative integral E dot dl, and the limits of this integral are from negatively charged conductor to positively charged conductor along the length of negatively charged conductor to positively charged conductor. So these two equations, we can find out the ratio of Q upon V, and then we can find out the capacitance for any given system. Now, if charge Q increases, then the electric field intensity as well as electric flux density and V, they change by the same amount. Because of this, the ratio of Q upon V, it remains constant. So this means the capacitance does not depend on Q or V. So it will depend only on the physical dimensions and the properties of the material, that is epsilon, ds and dl. So the conclusion from this is that the capacitance of the given system, it is function of only physical dimensions of the system and the property of the material, that is dielectric material, that is permittivity. So it depends on ds, that is the surface area of the conductor, dl, that is the distance between the two conductors, and the permittivity of the material. And the unit of the capacitance is, as it is ratio of charge upon V, it can be written as Coulomb per volt, or it is defined as 1 farad. Now when capacitors are connected in parallel, what is the equivalent capacitance? Now here let us assume two capacitors are connected in parallel, and the combination, it is connected to this battery. When the capacitors are first connected in the circuit, the electrons are transferred from the left plate through this battery to the right plate. Same thing happens for this battery also. Leaving the left plate positively charged and the right plate negatively charged. Since the capacitors are connected in parallel, the voltage across these capacitors, both the capacitors, VAB, it remains same for both the capacitors. Now C equivalent is the equivalent capacitor that stores the same total charge Q when connected to the same battery. So this means the total charge Q, it is nothing but Q1 plus Q2 plus Q3, if I assume three capacitors in parallel. And we know Q is equal to CV. Now as the voltage across all the capacitors is same, so we can write this as C1V plus C2V plus C3V. And this is same as the equivalent capacitance C EQ into V. So this V, it cancels, and this gives me C equivalent, that is the equivalent capacitance of the system, as C1 plus C2 plus C3. So this is the equivalent capacitance if three capacitors are connected in parallel. Now let us assume a series combination. When a battery is connected to the circuit, electrons are transferred from the left plate of C1 to the right plate of C2, making left plate of C1 as positively charged and right plate of C2 as negatively charged. An equivalent amount of negative charge is removed from the left plate of C2, making it positively charged. And all the right plates of the series combination, they attain negative charge, and all the left plates, they attain a positive charges plus Q. When the capacitors are in series, each capacitors have the same charge at their plates. So the equivalent capacitor has the same charge across the voltage drop. So this means if we assume 3 capacitors in series, then in that case the total voltage across the combination, this is nothing but V1 plus V2 plus V3. Now using this relationship C equal to Q upon V, we can write V equal to Q upon C. So as charge across all the capacitors is same, we can write this total V, this is because of C equivalent. So this we can write as Q upon C equivalent, and for capacitor 1 it is Q upon C1, for capacitor 2 it is Q upon C2, and for the third capacitor Q upon C3. So this Q from the numerator of both the sides, it cancels, and this gives me 1 upon C equivalent as 1 upon C1 plus 1 upon C2 plus 1 upon C3. So using this equation we can find out the equivalent capacitor if 3 capacitors are connected in series. So we have seen the basic definition of capacitance, and we also discussed that the capacitance of the system, it depends only on the physical dimensions of the system, that is area of the conductors and the separation between the conductors and permittivity of the material. And we also discussed what is the equivalent capacitors if capacitors are connected in series as well as in parallel.